Hello.
We can hear you. Can you hear us?
We cannot hear you.
Okay.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All good. Well, thank you so much for being here with us today. It was really lovely to be able to screen the documentary Fakir to kind of international audience tonight. We have people from all over the world and also Pakistan, so we're very honored to be with you here virtually. And also with you, Temur, thank you so much for being here with us.
Thank you very much.
And just to begin with, I wanted to ask you, Camille and Ilyas, what actually inspired you to do this documentary about this region in particular? Because I know you traveled everywhere in Pakistan, more or less. So why did you choose Sindh and the topic of the fakirs in particular?
First of all, thank you so much. Thank you to all the people for your question. Regarding what inspired us to talk about this subject and Pakistan in general, with the people of Pakistan in this case, and after we at Demain, we had an amazing trip in Sindh. And going in Sindh, we had different ideas about making a documentary there. But after spending up to 3 months, came up with another idea that we didn't expect, and that was the importance of the religious harmony and the message of the fakirs of the south of Pakistan. And this is something that we didn't expect.
Yeah, actually it's funny because I think the key moment in the documentary was when we met Bishara in Bicha, Fakir actually. It was during the conversation, we were talking, and at that point Bishara said, "My name is Bishara Fakir." And then we realized, and I remember saying to Timur, but he's a Fakir and you didn't even told us before, because for him it.
And the whole trip was like this. We kept discovering new things. On the daytime, anything ahead. So we were amazed by everything we discovered and the people we met and the message that they wanted to share with us. So only when we went back to France, we decided we wanted to tell this story.
Okay, thank you so much. I hope everyone could understand. There are some glitches, but yeah. I'll go on with another question. So you're part of this generation that started to produce content on YouTube and on social media, and thanks to your experience in editing and filming, that you acquired thanks to YouTube and social media, you were able to develop this documentary. And I was wondering if your experience as content creators influences the way you approach filmmaking, documentary making, and if so, how so? I mean, we saw some things in the documentary itself, but if you can elaborate a bit more on that.
Thank you for your question.
Yes, thank you.
Actually, I think because we started traveling by filming, probably we are more into meeting unexpected people we met on the way, talking to people in the street just to learn about their culture or history of the place. I think it made us more nice people, always very welcoming, and you are always right, I think.
Yes.
Positive.
I think that's what YouTube and social media taught us is whenever we are filming, we are putting ourselves outside of our comfort zone. And sometimes the camera is a helpful tool to meet new people because often people will ask you, what are you filming? Can I help you? It helps us in many ways to have a camera and to have a YouTube channel. And also it helped us to meet amazing people through social media. We made some amazing connections, not only in Pakistan, but everywhere. And
okay, thank you so much. And regarding meetings and meeting important people that actually had a lot of influence on your work, I'm so happy that we're welcoming Temur here with us tonight. So Temur, you were the fixer during the documentary, and it's a role that we often overlook, but yet it's capital. The documentary cannot happen if you're not here to help meet people, translate and everything. And I was wondering if you can tell us a bit more about what your role as a fixer entails, and if you at some point influenced maybe the creative process by maybe suggesting to go to some specific place or meeting specific people, and if, yeah, in a way you had a role to play also in the creative process of the documentary.
Thank you for inviting me. Yeah, so when the project started, initially we had a rough sketch of how we will shoot the project. We had like camellias, they shared some things with me, like how they want to do the traveling, which areas they want to cover, which communities they want to cover. But obviously we improvised. That's what you need to do when you are in Pakistan, and knowing the country is something which is always happening. So when we were traveling in Sindh, for example, initially meeting Bisharat Fakir was not in the plan. So that is something I suggested, and they were kind enough to accept that, and they were like, okay, let's go and meet them. And shrines were closed at that time. We were traveling during like post-COVID scenario, but shrines were not open yet. So I was lucky that I had direct connection with Mr. Bisharat. I met him somewhere during my travels. So that was one thing we added. Also, when we visited the Kohli family, the village, that was also something we were planning on going to some other place, but that did not happen. So then we went to this place, and luckily the people there, the villagers, they were very kind, and the overall experience was very nice. So overall, I will say like they had a lot of research was already done, and they had a very good idea of what they want to do. But yeah, we improvised.
Yeah, I guess it's always good to let the unexpected come in sometimes.
Exactly.
Regarding meeting people still, something very important in this documentary is obviously to meet people, meet local communities. And one of the underlying themes that we see, especially towards the end, is the fact that these communities are impacted by climate change, which makes their life a lot harder. And we also all know that Pakistan is one of the countries that suffers the most from these kind of issues. And I wanted to ask you if, as content creators, you feel like you have a responsibility to raise awareness regarding these topics, and also if you feel like your platform can help you achieve things like beyond traveling, beyond making content on social media.
Especially during the floods. So, of course, as content creator and people that have a voice, we want to raise awareness. It's important for us. And that's why we decided actually in September during the floods in Sindh to create an NGO. So we could raise money and do something for the people we met during the movie. Because the people we met in Sindh, they gave us so many knowledge, time, friendship, and we wanted to pay back for something. So for us, it was the least we could do, use our influence to raise some money and do something for the people that were victims of the floods.
And Temo will be able to explain exactly what happened on the ground, because he is the one responsible to make everything happen. So he had especially the Mohana people.
Would you like to jump in, Temo, to talk about the projects that you...
First thing that... Sorry? Right?
No, sorry, you just cut for a second, so I wanted to ask, do you want to keep going? Please.
Sorry, I think the connection is really bad.
Yes, we're really sorry about that.
So,
Timo, would you like to elaborate maybe on the project? Maybe
Sure.
we have some pictures to...
Sure.
just saying that
Can you hear? Should I? Okay. So when the floods happened in Pakistan, since we had visited the communities, Mohanas and people from Mirpur Pass and those areas were affected by the floods. So Kami and Ilyas, they approached me and they said that they want to help people from those areas. So we raised a fund for the flood affectees, and then I visited those areas and we decided to help them whatever they need in different areas. So we did like our ration distribution, food distribution for around 850 families, and we built houses for some communities in Mirpur Khas, and we built traditional houses which are more like suitable for that environment, which were the way they were already living. So without doing like kind of intervention which is not good for them. And so we were able to build 63 houses for them. And then for Mohanas, their main issue, since they are already living on water, so during the floods, their main issue was not that they were affected by the floods. In fact, they were helping people in different areas in Dadu and all those districts, because they are expert in like boating and everything. So their boats were used by the government and everyone. So their main issue was they need clean drinking water. They have to travel around 10 miles. They have to pay a certain amount to get that water, then they bring that water to their area, then they have to move that to their boats, then they take that to their houses. So our main aim was, if we can solve one problem for the whole Mohana community, that would be very helpful for them. So, the device you see, the blue box, this is a RO plant, which is solar powered, so which is more sustainable. So we built deployed a solar powered RO plant so that they can get access to clean drinking water. So with this water RO plant, around 2,000 people can have access to clean drinking water daily. So all the Mohanas, there are around 300 families. You can see some huts there, but they are like scattered around this canal. So 300 families, they are able to get clean drinking water because of the help of the Kami and Ilyas and all the donors who were supporting them. And now like the community, they have access to that. And also we are working closely with them. So the problem in that water is the industrial waste as well. So we have to keep an eye on the TDS level, because when we started this project, the TDS level was 3,000. Now latest updates which I have, the TDS level has increased. So we might have to change the filters so that they are able to purify the water, because the average TDS level should be around 150 to 200. But the water they had had a TDS of around 3,000. So which was like, you can literally smell the water. It's not good for drinking. So thankfully we were able to provide some relief to them and help them.
Would you like to add something, Kami and Ilyas?
To be honest, we don't hear you very well, but I think Timur just summed up everything. He's the one who made it happen. He's the one who did several trips to Sin, and we trust him fully on this, and we are so grateful that he's making this happen. And that hopefully the project that we built will last several years, and we will be able to maintain it, so it will have a long-lasting consequences on the life of the people.
Thank you very much. I think now we can open the floor for questions, if there are some questions from the audience.
Could you please write the question in the comments so we can read it fully? Thank you.
Any questions about the movie, or don't be shy, come on. Yes.
Hi, this is Masham. I had a question based on when you're exploring Sindh and you don't talk about Seven. That is a surprising, I was expecting for you to visit Seven as well. So was there any particular reason why Lal Shahbaz Qalandar? Because when you're talking about spirituality and Sufism in Sindh, that is a big element of that as well. So I was just curious about that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can someone write the question in the chat because we didn't.
The code be bad. Can someone write down the question in the chat so we can read it?
Yes, I think he will write the question in the chat.
Sorry.
Thank you.
It's coming. Here we are.
Thank you for reading was shot during the COVID restriction. So the shrine of last housed to the public.
Yeah,
So-
unfortunately. We were very sad we could not visit, but for Bicha we had special authorization because the Temo knew Bicha, but for Sevan it was not no people inside, so people all getting in the shrine together and.
No, that's a
yeah.
shame.
That's why we want to come back to
We
Pakistan.
will have to be back to experience again. See.
Yes, I think we all hope that you'll be back to Pakistan at some point. It would be great to have you here and to have you here in person because it would be easier to hear you probably. Any other question? Yes.
My name is Dhamma, and you mentioned that in 13th century the fakirs came with Islam. Just something to add that there was already sadhus and we were not all coming invading this country, we were already here. So that is what made fakirs success, or Islam in fact, because the sadhus were already there. Just a point. Thank you.
I don't know if they could hear. I think we might have lost the connection here. I'm really sorry about this. Do you have any other question, maybe Temur, who is here with us? Yes, please.
It was really very interesting, to see how, the choice of the places that you went to and so on. Because I also traveled to Lower Sindh quite some years ago. You seem to have gone, to a number of places, not in sequence entirely, Like you crossed here, then you went back, then you went back. So that was interesting. What was your choice? Yeah, because we kind of traveled. When I traveled, it was like not a straight line, but downward, south, sometimes a bit to one side or the other. But it was it was wonderful to see this. It was a great effort. Thank you. Should I write something?
Yeah, they've been frozen for a second there, so if you want to react to that.
So you are right. I was wondering if someone will notice that, and I'm glad that you noticed that. So our travel was like in the orderly manner, but you know, when you are editing some content to make a storyline and everything, I think the way we presented the content is different, but the way we traveled was different. So you are right.
What was the journey exactly? Do you remember?
So yeah, we went like extreme south first. We started from Karachi, and then we started exploring from south to north. So we went from Karachi to Thatta first. From Thatta we went to Mithi first. Then we spent few days in Mithi. From Mithi we came to Hyderabad. Ilyas was not feeling well at that time. So there are so many like behind the scene things that you don't see on camera, but yeah, so he was not feeling well, and then we went to Mirpur Pass. From Mirpur Pass we came back to 7, from 7 then we went back to like Cholistan, and so we were spending like 1 week to 10 days in different places. So we were going back to those places. So the way they did it, like, so I have worked with some other content creators as well. So what I liked about Kami and Ilyas, and I appreciate, is that they were more interested in people first and then the content. So first we will visit a place, we will have like a good interaction with people, except few places where it was not possible for us to go, because in some areas we were not allowed to stay in a certain places or hotels. So just logistically it was not possible for us to go there back and forth. So yeah, that was like our the way we traveled.
So altogether it took a couple of months to
I think it was around 3 months.
Okay.
Together.
Okay. Any other question? No? Then I think unfortunately we've lost Kami and Ilyas. I'm sorry about the technical glitches, but I hope you had a good time, you enjoyed the documentary and the talk at the end. And we hope to see you next time for another event at Alliance Française.